Hey y'all, whether it's the morning, evening, or afternoon, I'm just gonna let you guys have decided to vibe with E. Yes, the one and only E. Hey y'all, hope y'all feeling amazing, doing amazing, and just being amazing overall. And if not, it's okay, it's all right, my friend, because you know why? Bad times don't last forever, because after every storm there is a rainbow, and you're getting closer and closer every day to that rainbow, that pot of gold, that light in the tunnel, whichever one you prefer, my friend. Okay, I want you to understand that slow and steady wins the race. You got this. Manifestation is real, as well as prayers, but most importantly, I want you guys to understand, once you get to those good, phenomenal, important, all those extravaganza points in your life, I want you to please rely on the times where it wasn't good, when those bad times was there, because the bad times, they don't last forever, of course, but they help shape you into the position that you are in right now, / the person that you are, whatever the case may be. Okay, so once again, y'all, hey y'all, what's up, what's poppin'? If you're new here, welcome. And for the ones that are not new to this but true to this, hey y'all, what's up, what's poppin'? Happy Wednesday. I hope you all are enjoying this Wednesday so far, and if not, it gets better throughout the weekday, because Friday is almost here and the weekend's almost here as well. So you know, it gets better. I hope you are also enjoying this amazing weather, y'all. It feels so good outside. Like, it even feels so good outside that my eyes feel good. Like, my sight is okay. Like, I ain't gotta worry about putting my glasses on or nothing. I can put them on if I want to again, but you know, we cool right now. But other than that, y'all, I really hope that so far that March has been doing good for you. I know we are in the second week. We have 2 more weeks in March. But other than that, y'all, I really hope that March is putting in some work for you guys. Spring break's almost here. A lot of people about to take vacations, things of that nature. Like, we are almost soon to be in the second quarter of the year as well. I want to say second quarter begins, let's say, April to June. And third quarter starts from like July to September. And then fourth quarter, we'll say, is from October to December. That makes sense, because on January through March is first quarter. April through June will be second quarter. July through September will make third quarter. And October to December will make fourth quarter. So that makes, that makes sense. Don't that make sense, y'all? Simple math, I don't know. But if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you gonna get it soon. Other than that, y'all, I really hope that this month has been good for you. So far, I would say the month of March for me has been doing some good. It's been doing some justice for me or whatever. I will say that I've been seeing some things change within academics and things of that nature. So I'm not, I'm not really complaining, just staying cool, calm, and collect, enjoying this weather and things of that nature. Also, too, I hope you guys are out there honoring all the social workers out there, because we don't get a lot of recognition in certain areas, especially in the areas that we help people within the population where we concentrate on, such as social workers within school-based, child welfare, medical social workers, forensic, psychiatric, all those social workers out there. So please love on them, love on us, whatever, any human health behavior worker, all that. So I really hope y'all are really showing some love. And most importantly, this is also International Women's Month. International Women's Day was Sunday, March the 8th, 2026. I really hope that you guys show love to all the women in your life that has been making an impact to you, things of that nature. Shout out to all the women out there that listen to me, support me, and things of that nature. I really do appreciate y'all. Y'all do not go unnoticed at all, and it's vice versa. I'm here for y'all. I see y'all doing the big things, as well as for the men out there too. Even though it's not y'all month, I'm gonna still give y'all flowers, because y'all really be putting it down and holding us down as well. So we appreciate it on behalf of the women in my corner. I appreciate them, and we appreciate y'all, and vice versa, as well as even the younger generation. To the younger girls that's coming up, young ladies and stuff coming up too, we appreciate you. I appreciate y'all, and if I can be a role model to you, I'm so grateful to be that role model for you. And I'm going to put out all the raw and uncut vibes I can for y'all, because that's just the motto, and that's forever going to be the motto while you're here vibing with E. Okay, so y'all, yes, we are in March still. We are 2 weeks in, and we are we're in the last month of first quarter. So second quarter will start in April, and I really don't know how that's gonna go, because for me it's gonna be a whole 360, and I know for you guys probably a whole 362, or things probably staying the same, or something probably changed down the first quarter. Whatever it is, y'all, I really hope that with what's going on in your life, you're putting in the input and putting in work that you have been manifesting and praying for. Okay, and as always, I thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your busy day to listen or to watch me. I really do appreciate it, because without you guys, I don't know where I would be. So I really do appreciate y'all, especially for the ones that are new here. Thank you for taking the time out of your day, especially to even want to sit back and listen to Who the Heck Vibing with E is and OGs. I appreciate y'all every time for, you know, tuning in and things of that nature. Okay, so y'all, we have 37 newsletters. Once again, if you want to be a part of the newsletter, the link tree is linked into whichever way you listen or watch me. All you have to do is click the link tree, scroll down, it will have an icon box that says sign up for the sign up for the weekly newsletters. And once you click it, you just insert your email, and once I get that notification, you will be entered, you will be in the thread of the next newsletters to come. Okay, so with this being the 37th newsletter, our theme still stays strong, becoming you, your next level within the month of March. Going back to how last month of February we was focused on soft life, you know, we are not losing ourselves no more. So as we, you know, we're not losing ourselves no more, we're gaining the respect and honor that we have been manifesting and praying for ourselves. So now we're in this space where we're becoming us within this next level with everything going on. So we're still in quarter one, still making progress, and by quarter three we should see some results that we really have been wanting to see when we have these long-term and short-term goals, as well as from fixed mindset to now we're on a growth mindset type of training, things of that nature. Okay, so yes, y'all, but I really hope that you are, you know, feeling amazing, doing amazing, feeling grounded, and you're motivated even when you may feel low, still finding time to do what's necessary for you, because you are in this next chapter of becoming you, but also finding the balance of what's for you and what's not for you. So as we continue our March theme, becoming you, the next level, this week's reminder is simple but powerful. Your next level is built through consistency. Motivation may help you start, but discipline helps you continue. Becoming requires showing up even when the excitement fades. It's required choosing progress over comfort and commitment over convince. Your future self is shaped by what you choose today. Okay, so for this week's challenge, y'all, I'm challenging you guys to choose one goal or habit that you have been waiting to feel motivated to start. Instead of waiting for that perfect time, waiting for like you in a good mood to do it, I want you to do it right here, right now. I want you to do it as soon as possible. You know, stop pushing yourself and the things you want to do on the back burner. If you have been wanting to get that car, do the process of doing the research for it, and you saved up enough money for it, go ahead and do it, my friend. That house, shooting your shot, getting that job promotion, going back to school, whatever it is, do what's necessary for you. I want you guys to choose one goal or habit, whatever it is, that hobby, whatever it is you want to do it. Don't wait till you feel like, oh, I'm in a good mood, like I want to do it. Because I realized to y'all, for me, this little sidebar, that sometimes for me, I enjoy stuff in the moment, because sometimes it may not happen again. So I'm learning too to stop thinking like that, because it may happen again. If I keep saying, oh, this is in a moment, it might not come back. But sometimes some things are meant for the moment, and you don't want everything just to be meant for the moment, because you want some things to last for a good time. And sometimes you don't want to be like here for a good time, not a long time, because that's what it is, being in the moment. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, take the time to really choose one goal or habit or hobby or whatever, and you've been waiting for it to do it. Don't wait till you feel motivated, on a good mood. Do it. Instead of waiting for the perfect mood, take one disciplined step towards it today. Ask yourself, what would the next version of me do right now? Then do that, even if it's small. Consistency clears transformation. You know, you got to discipline yourself to do some things that you probably don't want to do. And I'm going to give y'all a little hint on what we're going to talk about today. I mean, even though y'all won't see the title, but it is what it is. So Vibe It Out with Guests, y'all, will be reopening soon. So towards the end of the month, I want to say like the 4th week, so down wellness lessons 1-on-1, I will be opening back up Vibe It Out with Guests, and I will be so happy for you guys to fill out your forms. I do got to fix the calendars for Vibing Out with Guests individual sessions and group sessions. So yes, y'all, I will be working on that soon before the week is over, because I go on spring break. So I'll have time to do so. And also my students, they go on spring break next month. So I basically have 2 breaks. One break from the school and from my school, like from academic wise, and from being with my students for 3 days. But I also have another break away from the students while the students are on break. But academics, I won't have a break because I will be preparing to graduate, you know. But it is what it is. A break is a break. I still got some wiggle room to do what I gotta do. And as always, y'all, Vibing Out with Guests is a reminder that a space where real conversations create real impact. Every story, every vibe is important. It's lovely. It's a reflection of healing and growth, and nobody's story goes unnoticed. Shout out to all the guests that has been on Vibing Out with Guests so far. And if you want to be a guest, come through. Once I upload these forms, and you can still, let me backtrack, you can still fill out the form. I just have to fix the calendar. The forms never go locked. I don't put them on lock. No, they're open there. The calendar is the only thing that needs to be fixed. Like, you can still add the date on there you want to do, and hopefully we can, you know, accommodate and, you know, say this yay or nay. But other than that, Vibing Out with Guests will be coming soon, and I cannot wait to see you guys. Okay, I cannot wait to see you guys. And the quote of this week is, motivation starts the journey, discipline finish it. Okay, and as always, I want you guys to stay connected. Follow the podcast page on Instagram at vibing.with.e, and use the hashtag vibingwithe to share how you're staying disciplined and building your next level for this week, as well as maybe for the year to come in a few months as well. So yeah, let's get into it. What's the vibe? But it's Zay, vibing where meaningful conversations meet growth and real life connections. On this Wednesday, March 11th, 2025, we have reached 146 episodes, and today's vibe of the day is all about discipline over motivation. And I know y'all probably like, you know what's crazy, y'all? Every time I hear the word discipline, I think of Shamar. Because Shamar made a song about discipline, and I used to be like, oh my gosh, like every time I hear discipline, like I bust out and sing his song. But now I'm just like, when I thought of it for the podcast, I'm like, somebody gonna catch on to it. Somebody probably like, oh, she ain't talking about Shamar's song. No, we love Shamar. But it's so funny, when I was writing, I was like, discipline, you know, Shamar's song. And then I'm like, okay, motivation, Kelly Rowland, let me be your motivation. So like, I don't know, y'all, when I hear certain stuff, a song instantly comes to my mind. Like, I can have a song for anything and make up one too. I don't know if that's a gift or not, but hey, it makes something, it makes my heart skip a beat sometimes. I don't know, it makes the mood, it makes me feel good, point blank period. But yes, y'all, today's vibe of the day is discipline over motivation. This week's episode is a reminder that motivation is temporary. I know y'all probably like, hold up, for real? I know, y'all. When I did some research on it and understood it too while going to school and teaching students, motivation is temporary within certain things. But discipline builds lasting results, and discipline starts at home. You know, starts at home for you to help you with things of that nature. We're going to get into it. So we're talking about why relying on motivation can keep you stuck, hashtag stagnant, how discipline strengthens self-trust, and how consistency actions create a long-term growth. Now, so in this episode, we will cover why motivation fades and discipline lasts. Discipline lasts. Hold on, y'all. Okay, here we go. The difference between inspired and committed. How small discipline habits creates bigger change. Breaking the cycle of starting and stopping. That's a big one. That's like within motivation. I'm gonna give y'all a little hint. That's in motivation. Like, I'm motivated, but I'm not disciplining myself to keep going. You know, all gas, no brakes. But it's okay. You know, you can have those breaks, but don't keep breaking when you don't really need to break just because you over it. And most importantly, and building consistency even when you don't feel like it. That's a big one. That's a big one, y'all. So this one's a little deep, and this all impacts with who you are becoming within your next level, becoming you within this next level. So yeah, this episode is a reminder that success isn't built on perfect days and it's not built overnight. It's built on consistent effort. So guys, I'm so glad that you guys are tuned in at this time, because you're in for a treat for a motivating and honest conversation designed to help you stay committed to your growth. Regardless of how big or small it is, my friends, you are in this cycle right now where you are in a space where you're going to be able to understand, like, yeah, I'm motivated, but sometimes motivation can be temporary, because now I'm in a space where I have to discipline myself. I gotta find, like, what's I don't know if it's a math, or I think it's math, like disciplinary and stuff like that, or however, y'all. But if y'all hear the word, y'all probably be like, okay, some people think of discipline is like when you discipline your kids or you're disciplining somebody else's kids. You think of discipline sometimes think of it as a bad thing, but in all nationality is a good thing. Especially, we have to discipline ourselves. Like I say, sometimes we can be our biggest critics, and let alone we can give ourselves a headache. I give myself a headache, y'all. Prime example, when I don't give myself the chance to try sometimes some things. Like, I be scared, like, not gonna lie, regardless of how many degrees you have or your highest level of education, you can still be having little hiccups in your life. And my biggest hiccup is being in groups with people, and it gives me some time to speak on topics. I'll be sitting there like, I don't want to say anything. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till they call me or something. But like, I had to learn, like, when I was in class, I gotta put my foot forward, and it doesn't make you less of a person. Don't make you stupid. Don't make you dumb. No, it's just like, it's helping you get out your shell. It's helping you get out of that butterfly. And I was, what they say, the introvert and extrovert. Yeah, I was an extrovert. Now I'm like, y'all, I think I'm more on the side of an introvert, just because of how things have been going. But just in general, sometimes, we grow out of things, we fade away. Like, going back to the last episode, like, who are we becoming? Sometimes our taste change, the vibe change, how I want to express myself, and all that change. And that also comes within discipline. Sometimes we have to discipline ourselves to understand, like, stop trying to dim yourself, try to the best of your ability, and then having motivation along the way to help you, and that's it. But once the discipline is still there helping you in between to get to where you need to go, it's like, okay, now I know what we're doing, and I think I'm on the right track, and I have faith in myself. Once you discipline yourself, it's like disciplining a child. I feel like discipline is something like a rule and a law that you're not gonna forget. Like, even for me as a child, don't do that, don't touch that, then I tell you all that stuff, like, that stays with me. And like, if I was to see a scenario again like that at my grown age or with my students, I'd be like, I gotta discipline them in the best appropriate way possible, so they can understand, like, this is important. Because even you have to discipline yourself within areas you think you already had discipline in, or the motivation is like, oh, I got it, it's helping me. But sometimes the motivation can fade away. Like, motivation can really fade away from you, and that's why you need to understand why discipline is over motivation, and why is it not motivation over discipline. Okay, so once again, y'all, we have reached 146 episodes, and today's vibe of the day is discipline over motivation. And as I was talking, I hope you guys had got an understanding of, like, what it is and who it impacts and all these things. Because if you're new here, I break down every vibe of the day into the definition, the 5 W's. Thank you for vibing in, little chat, and going back to the quote of the week / the quote of the day / the quote of the week. Okay, so without further ado, guys, I want you guys sit back, relax, enjoy hearing my voice or watching my beautiful face. Whether you're on the go, on the move, get real comfortable, get real tight, let's enjoy this night. I want you to turn this morning, evening, afternoon, wherever, I want you to enjoy this. I want you to enjoy it. I want you to turn me up on your speakers, your Alexa, your Google Dot, your TVs, car radios, phones, PC, whatever, because every vibe of the day is something special. Okay? Okay, so let's get into it. What does discipline over motivation really mean? And I really talked a little bit about it, like understanding like why is it important for you to get the grasp of, you know, sometimes we think of like motivation is the key to everything. It is. Motivation is key, but if you don't have no discipline, will the motivation even make sense? And I know you're probably like, I ain't think of it that way. So this is what we're going to deep dive into, understanding why is it important to know that yes, motivation is key, but sometimes we have to have discipline over motivation for us to get to where we want to be in life, whether it's a big or small goal or big or small changes in our life. So discipline over motivation means committing to your goals even when you don't feel inspired, energized, or emotionally ready. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes depending on the mood, circumstances, and external encounterments. Discipline, however, is a decision that's to stay consistent regardless of how you feel. It's the ability to follow through on commitment, routines, and responsibilities even when excitement fades. Choosing discipline means understanding that growth is built through consistency, not barriers or bruises of inspiration and being inspired. So let's go back. Let me go back again. So discipline over motivation means committing to your goals even when you don't feel inspired, energized, or emotionally ready. So with that being said, y'all, discipline is something, let's think of a goal or something you have going on right now. I want you to think about it, whatever. I want y'all to think about it as I'm telling y'all my example. So right now, a goal or dream, whatever I got going on. Prime example, goal. Getting a master's degree, right after you got a bachelor's degree in the same area, but you know, a different level. When I tell y'all, I told myself right after I graduated, before I even graduated, period, when I jumped in the program, when I jumped into my BSW program, it was already in the School of Social Work. I said my goal is to get my BSW, and once I get my BSW, I'm getting that MSW. However, I didn't know much about advanced standing. I just knew I'm going to get it done within 2 years, and get it done. Wrongo. Once I heard that I was qualified to do the advanced standing placement, that means, accelerated program, 9 to 11 months. I challenged myself, and that became my goal. My discipline for the goal within me getting my BSW to my MSW was to help me understand that this is a commitment that I made a goal to. It is days. Hell yeah, there are going to be days. And I had days where I didn't feel inspired. And the reason why I'm going to talk about sometimes I didn't feel inspired is because it went from one institution to another. And it's crazy because in class I had to do research on the institution I went an alumni at to now an institution that I'm at now that I'll soon be an alumni in at a couple months. I wasn't really inspired as much because when I was in undergrad, a lot of my professors was telling me, you have the ability to go anywhere basically, but I really see you here at this institution that you at now, university, at this university. And I was like, that really didn't inspire me much because I'm like, HBCUs for life. Like, hello. But then I was like, you know what? Once I put the paperwork in and everything and I got my letter, on the first day of March to honor social workers and stuff, I was like, okay, now I feel like I'm inspired. Because at first, I wasn't inspired. But I had to go back to my why. When it comes to discipline, I want y'all to think about it like this. When it comes to discipline and, motivation, people think when you go to motivation, think of the why. But in this case, when it comes to discipline, think of the why. Because sometimes you could feel, what we say, like, don't feel inspired, energized, or emotionally ready. Regardless of if I wasn't even in the program yet for MSW, I still had to go back to my why. I said, after I get this BSW, I'm getting that MSW. And there were days where I felt uninspired because I'm like, dang, I'm leaving one institution that I fell in love with, I am comfortable, I'm here with, to now to a whole new institution. I got to learn the people, learn the professor. I got to learn the whole thing. Sometimes I felt uninspired. Like sometimes I feel like, dang, did I make a mistake of coming here? Did I, like it was some questions I had, like, was it worth it and all those things? But I have to go back to my why, the discipline of it, regardless of what it was. Inspired or not, I still had to go back to my why, and I disciplined myself to understand that. And now I'm like, shoot, I'm almost out the door. So I get it. It gets to the way, especially to being energized. Sometimes I didn't have the energy. For example, time went forward. Sorry, y'all. Time went forward. Not, Sunday, when I seen on March 9th, it went from 1:59 to 3 o'clock. Me and Sleep already right now don't have a good relationship. We have a love-hate relationship. And I know hate is a real strong word, but we have a real love-hate relationship. And I know some of you guys can understand where I'm coming from. If you already not getting enough sleep, imagine, time go forward and you see like, dang, I lost an hour of sleep. So to me, I didn't have motivation to go to school the next day, that Monday. I was like, nope. But I had to think, I said, hold up. Girl, this is week 7. Next week is spring break. You're there from 9 to 12. Y'all probably gonna do another group assignment, which we did. And baby, next thing I knew, time was going by fast. Let me tell you something too. I called an Uber to school too. My Uber driver, she was so full of energy. She helped me because I honestly didn't have the energy. But she helped me get the energy I needed so I could get in the building. Because if you around people that's not helping you either be energized, it's like you really don't have it. But sometimes you need to focus on what matters for you. Why are you doing this, right? And most definitely I had days when my emotions was not ready. When I was emotionally ready. When I took that oath to pay my $300 to secure my spot as an MSW student, y'all, I wasn't emotionally ready. Not even just about the giving up the money, but I'm like, am I really doing this? Like I just walked across the stage. I didn't even walk across the stage yet for my BSW. So I'm like, I'm a BSW student about to go out the door, and I'm already an MSW student before I enter the door. I wasn't emotionally ready. You know why? Because I couldn't grasp it. And my motivation at the moment wasn't there. As I had to think about the discipline. Why are you doing this, E? Because I made this oath to myself. I had to set out. Like I'm committed to a goal. I have goals. I got dreams and aspirations. And so do you, my friend. That you have to offer. And at times you do have those moments where you feel like not inspired. You don't feel inspired, you don't feel energized, and your emotions are not ready. It gets to a point, but you don't want that to happen because you got to run off fuel or motivation. Like I said, motivation is temporary. Especially going back to in the moment. Sometimes motivation for us can be just in the moment. Some people is like, my motivation's over discipline. And some are like, shoot, now I understand it. Discipline is over motivation. Sometimes you got to do what's best for you. And I was the same way, like, okay, I got the motivation. I got to motivate myself. But sometimes the motivation don't come into play. Motivation and discipline, sometimes it wasn't going into play. Because sometimes I'm putting that motivation over that discipline. And it be times like, well, okay, I'm singing the song, okay, I'm doing it, but when I get there, it's like, it's crickets. And then I gotta think about the discipline. Why? I committed this goal. Why is this there? Okay? Because going back to motivation is temporary. It comes and it goes, babe. I know you're probably like, dang. Yes, it comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. Depending on your mood, especially, like I say, in the moment. Like this morning, I had no motivation. I did not. But I had to think about the why. If I don't go to school, this is the consequences. When you're in grad school, certain, I don't know about all, institutions, but my institution, you miss 3 days, no excuses. With no excuses, you're out. And I'm like, I cannot afford to miss class. This is the only class I have in person. I can't afford to miss. I missed one, but that was excuse absence because of what I had going on. Any other reason, be like, it's no reason good for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you gotta go back onto basically having discipline equal to the why. Discipline and why go hand in hand because it's impacted with committing to your goals even when you don't feel like you're inspired, emotionally ready, or you are not energized. It happens. It's going to happen. But sometimes motivation, if you are in this moment where, okay, I'm motivated because the mood, you can't be motivated when you're depressed. Sometimes it's hardest ever to get motivated and depressed. Especially doing a paper or dissertation, all that stuff, or working with people and prepare. The depression and motivation do not mix. It's gonna be a disaster. Like that show Bridezilla. You gonna give off like, oh, Wreck-It Ralph, girl, boy, no, my friend, no. And sometimes people be like, yeah, my motivation helped me. Sometimes it's like, yeah, it helps, but in the moment, but afterwards, it's like, do you still have that motivation? Do you still have it? You don't think of these things because motivation, like we said, it comes, it's temporary. It comes and it goes, depending on where your mood is, the circumstances, and what's the external engagement for this. Like, what am I doing right here for the moment for me to get, pumped up? Then afterwards, I'm like, oh, you know what? I was always cool, was dandy, I'm good. No, we can't do that. We gotta keep this in mind that discipline rules everything. It's like cash rules everything around me, like Wu-Tang said. And in this case, discipline rules everything more than motivation, because it's the ability to follow through on commitment, routines, and responsibilities even when excitement fades. Like for me, like I did not have a motivation today at all, but I had to think of that why. My discipline, I disciplined myself to go this far. I'm in week 7. I got 7 more weeks to go. Why give up now? And I know you're probably thinking like, you're right. And we all go to these things with working a job, handling a business, dealing things, changing new things, or bringing new things. And it all has a part in our life. And we think that motivation always going to help us. No, because it's temporary. Sometimes that motivation will fade. Like I tell you, like regardless of what career you're in or what are you doing in life, sometimes the motivation, it comes and goes, as well as when you don't have that emotional support and those people in your life to help you, you really ain't really understanding like, is this really worth me getting up every day? I don't feel motivated. But that's why you got to go back to the why, equal in the discipline of why did you sign yourself up for this, and what was the goal that you committed, or this dream aspiration? What was the commitment period for this to happen? Yeah, you were motivated in the beginning because like, yeah, I did it. I'm on it. I want that. I need that. But I want you to understand too, don't wait. Like we're packing this week's challenge. Don't wait until you're in a good mood to do some stuff. If you're neutral and it's on your mind, especially when it's on your mind, it's like that little voice in your head, whatever y'all want to call it, it's telling you, look, I think this needs to happen. Regardless if you want neutral, just give it rest space or not, whatever. Do it. Don't wait till you in a whole happy-go-lucky, bubbly vibe for you to be like, all right, let's take off. My motivation here. Because it's not really going hand in hand on what the heck is the discipline for you to be committed into doing this. Okay? So now, who is impacted? Now, this is a strong message that's to everyone that's going through anything in their life that needs to understand the importance of discipline and motivation. So this message is for anyone who starts strong but struggles to stay consistent. Going back to the motivation, I'm here, we strong, but staying consistent is the discipline of it. So now it makes sense. Like for example, you could be a guy or a girl that has the ambition of becoming a ball player, becoming a real famous person. And you have all the stuff, you strong in it. But you're struggling to stay consistent with this lifestyle now. It look good in the movies and stuff, and you've been picturing and you had this dream and this goal, but are you willing to still commit to this goal? Are you willing to still take this discipline with the why, keep going? Because now your motivation is not there, and then you gotta find new motivation to stay continue on what you're doing. Is especially impacted for people who rely heavily on motivation to become something but lose momentum when life gets busy, stressful, overwhelming. That's why I said motivation is temporary. Motivation is temporary, especially when, we're not going to have the same motivation every day. Prime example, when I work with my students, I sometimes don't have the same motivation every day. Sometimes I I need them to make some noise for me to be motivated. Sometimes I need my supervisor to peek in and out, you know, stay on my back a little bit to motivate me to, okay, get a little bit of, you know, get a little vibe in. But regardless, my discipline, my why, it helps me to stay consistent. Because if I wasn't consistent, babe, I don't think me in this MSW would still be where we at now. I think I wouldn't. I think you wouldn't went that far. Because sometimes we rely on motivation to go over the discipline. Because we think about discipline as a bad thing. No, I want you to get that out your head. Discipline's not bad. It's a good thing. It needs to help us to stay consistent to get things that we need to get done. Because when we lose the momentum of it, you know, when life gets busy, it's like I don't have the motivation no more. That's why I stopped. I ain't had the motivation. That's okay. But you don't want to keep starting over something new. And you still got this same discipline for yourself, but you're not applying it to understand, like, you know, I see what the problem is. I'm the problem of keep trying to have these, you know, momentum moments in my life where, you know, the motivation helps me, but I still got this disciplinary, all this stuff still playing, but it's not adding up. Okay? So this episode speaks to individuals working to personal goals, career growth, healing journeys, or lifestyle changes who need struggle and consistency to move forward. If you ever said, I will start when I feel ready, this conversation is mainly for you. This is for everyone that feels like, you know, we gotta be in a good mood and I gotta be really head on strong for me to understand that, yeah, I'm ready to do this. Instead of when you're not in the right headspace to go out and do it. It's like going back to the bad times don't last forever. They don't. And sometimes in the bad times, you gotta put your boots on and start marching, stepping, whatever you gotta do. Because in order for the good times to happen, you gotta put in the work. You gotta do it. The blueprint gotta be there. And yes, if you have to, you gotta be selfish. Do that. Do that. If you gotta take time away from people and things that don't fit with what you're going to do, that. And it's gonna have to take it what it is. If they don't understand, they don't understand. If they get it, they get it. If they don't, then you just don't. You have to take control of what is yours. You gotta pop out when it's necessary for you. You ain't gotta pop out every move. You could wait so something can happen for you today. You could post it a week or two. 3 days, 3-4 days. You know, you gotta pop out when it's ready for you. Be selfish and take control of what's yours. This is for you. Stop waiting for, I will start when I feel ready. Like when I get that jittery bug, them butterflies, like, oh my God, I gotta do it. No, do it when it's even feel bad, because it also helps you too. Like if I did this when I was down bad and it helped me out in the end, that means even when I'm on my good days and bad days, I could do this, because this is the discipline I have made for myself, the commitment I have did, the why of my discipline. Regardless if I'm in a good mood or not, I still gotta make it going, because when motivation is not there, everybody cuts. It's like when you're motivated, you know, you motivate people. Sometimes even us superheroes, hustlers and all that, when we're motivational speakers, sometimes we even stumble, like we ain't got the motivation. But we have to go back to the discipline equaling the why of why we committed to what we're doing. Like I said, truthfully, as y'all life coach and whatever y'all want to call me, I am not afraid to say it be times where I do not feel motivated sometimes to get in front of this camera and put this microphone. Get in front of the camera, get in front of the microphone. It's sometimes I don't have the motivation, but I gotta go back to the why I committed to this, the goal I have for this, and the discipline. But most importantly, who this may be helping. Even though I may not feel motivated, somebody may feel motivated of hearing this, and it helps them with their discipline for them to commit a goal, whatever the case may be. Okay, so this message is for anyone, you know, we start off strong, but we struggle to stay consistent in it. That's when, you know, we had a discipline. We're starting off strong, we consistent, you know, I got the motivation and the discipline. Something or someone can take us off that road due to it's not there no more. I don't feel the same no more. But I'm going to tell you this, every day is not going to be the same. Every day the sun won't shine. Every day you might not see a rainbow. That's why you keep going, especially when you put yourself on this ramp, this pedestal, whatever, of like, okay, I got a goal I need to achieve. I got goals. I got ambitions. I got to achieve. I want to achieve things like that. Whether or not I got the motivation or not, I still got to remember this is something that I've been manifesting, praying for, putting in the atmosphere, putting in work, just doing it like Nike and things like that. I can't give up on it now. If I give up on it now, it's like I fumbled. And it will be hard for me to really understand why I ain't got the motivation no more. And sometimes you have to have those mirrors conversations with ourselves. That's a little bit of motivation. The motivation is temporary. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Sometimes even when days where I don't feel like, I still gotta think about the why. Some days I may feel like Squidward and I don't want to smile or nothing, but I still gotta know why. Like sometimes for people, parents, guardians, things like that, some of them do not like their job, but they still want to put in that work because it's the discipline, the commitment they did for themselves and for their children or whoever they take care of up until they get what they want to be in. We still find motivation every day, here and there, but they're disciplined. They committed to this and they still committed until they're going to commit to something else. It's like a football player. When football players from high school commit to a college, commit to the NBA, whatever, overseas, it changes. And you want it, you are in this set so you can get to that next level. Sometimes motivation may not be there. Sometimes we're not going to have motivation, but we got to remember what was the why. Why is committed to the discipline? Why is committed to the goal that you committed to? Why did I want this? Why do I see this sit for me? This suits me. This is suitable for me and things of that nature. So when we have those moments, when we, our life changed, when our lifestyle changed, we're on a healing journey, the career growth, personal growth with structure and consistency to move forward. All that saying, I will start when I feel ready. No, do it now. Whether you're on a high horse, low, whatever, do it now. Especially if that voice in your head or you getting signs or whatever that's like, you need to take off right now. Do that. Don't wait until you're in a good mood to do it, or don't wait until something bad happens. Do it the moment you feel that gut feeling, whatever, that nerve, whatever is telling you, let's go. We got things to do. It's going to happen for you. You just have to believe in yourself and also understand this is for you and put your best foot forward. Yes, it can be scary, but you have to go out there because sometimes we got to do things out of fear. Sometimes we have to be uncomfortable to get comfortable. And sometimes we're comfortable and sometimes we got to step on something else. Once we're comfortable with this place, now I got to, I'm already uncomfortable. Now I got to get comfortable again to get to where it's at. And you got to think of the discipline equaling the goal you committed to and overall equals to the why versus the motivation you have for the moment. Because I guarantee you, if you're in this place for a year, your motivation going to change every other day, every other season, every other month, every other hour, every other second. So you got to really think what's for you and what's not. But most importantly, once I sign myself up for it, am I ready for everything that's going to come with it? Especially working in a human and health service world, it be days where y'all be wanting to, I don't want to say squeeze the children's head. I be want to throw dodgeballs. And we don't even have dodgeballs. And then some days I want to just pinch their little cheeks. The motivation sometimes ain't there, but the discipline equaling the why, the goal I committed to, regardless if they give me they tail to kiss, I'm not going to give them my tail to kiss. I still got a job I need to do. I still got things I need to do. I committed to this. I'm coming in hot with everything that's coming my way. People that do not like me or not, staff members like me or not, I don't care, because we on a different path. Yes, we in the same place, but my discipline for the goal I'm committed to is different from what you're here for. Okay? Yeah, everybody here for a paycheck, but what's the real root cause, the commitment compacted to this paycheck? Okay. So what is the benefit? What happens when you prioritize as a plan? I'm gonna say this. It's a whole 360 that changed. A lot of things changed for the better. All that you were going through, you'd be like, dang, this really happened. So when you prioritize discipline, you're building rehabilitation with yourself. You're rebranding some things in your life, such as your decisions and how you move and what are you committed to and how does it make you feel. Your progress becomes steady instead of inconsistent. Discipline reduces procrastination, strengthens confidence, and helps you develop habits that supports long-term growth. Instead of relying on, bursts of excitement, you create routines that move you forward even on difficult days. Over time, discipline creates results that motivation alone cannot suit, and it cannot be sustainable. It can't do it. You stop waiting for the right mood and start building the life you want through consistent actions. Down that you hear me. Let's say it again. You stop waiting for the right mood and start building the life you want through consistent actions now. You stop waiting for the right mood and the right time for you to get up and say, you know what? I'm going to put my clothes on and I'm going to do this. No. You stop that. You stop waiting for you to be in a good mood. If you upset, it been on your mind, that really gets the adrenaline too. Like, you know what? It's like this. One of my friends told me, once you're at the bottom, there's nowhere else you want to go but to the top. If I'm already frustrated, pissed off, waxed off, I'm like, hell, F this. That turns me up, me personally. Some people, it don't turn them up, okay? I understand. That turns me up because it goes to show what I'm on, what I want to do for myself. I'm turned up. I'm cranking myself up. I'm tired of the same stagnant routine because I'm prioritizing and building what is needed for me, my reliability for me. I'm understanding that, okay, now I'm tired of this situation I'm going through. Now I got to commit myself to a goal that understands that impacts with why this is needed for me to have the discipline. Yeah, I might not have the motivation or not, but regardless, we have good days and bad days. We still got to understand the why. It's like after someone graduates, I love reading when people get new promotions and houses, things, when good things happen in their life. They always mention, with motivation or not, some that I've seen, they say with the motivation or not, I still took that risk every day or whatever to get up and do what's necessary because I had to go back onto the why. And that's what I'm telling you guys. Getting that BSW was not easy either. I had to write a dissertation. If you guys remember the OGs, I had to write a dissertation, a 16-page dissertation. The board was behind me, y'all, but I don't like having it when I record because it messed up. I don't want to mess that board up. I was in the library from March up until the paper was due in April with my friends. It was so bad, y'all. The security guard started knowing us by name and face. We had disciplines for ourselves. We had disciplined ourselves too. Like, look, we got a 16-page paper due. It's worth 30%, I think, 30-40% of my grade. I'm looking at it right now. The paper was out of 180. I got a 172 on there. If I would have turned it in early, I probably would have got a 170. I probably would have got 180 or 185 for extra credit. But I disciplined myself. I said, I'm not going to do that just yet because I want to make sure it fits the need of what I've committed to do. I disciplined myself to be in this library every weekend, even on spring break. Or if I'm out and I've had to run errands and stuff, I'd be like, all right, I'm in charge of the library. I disciplined myself to go to the library every chance that I get to make sure this paper was done. Even if I wasn't in the library, if I was at internship, at my previous internship, work with the kids, and they on their break, and I ain't got nothing going on, I'm sitting doing the dissertation. I had to discipline myself. I wasn't going out like that. I wasn't answering the phone like that. I still was recording, but certain stuff I used to do, the stuff that wasn't impacting my dissertation, for me to keep my grades up for my other courses and still do the podcast and still work, if it didn't impact with that, that was out the window. The moments I had to present it to the school, we didn't really present it like we thought we was, but when after the ceremony, whatever, when I seen that grade, I flipped. I'm not going to say I flipped in a bad way. I flipped in a good way because I disciplined myself. It was times where I was like, I didn't have the motivation. It's not like I didn't have the motivation. But I still had to remember the why. Why did I committed this? My priorities on why this is important. This is a 16-page paper. Yes, it's for my grade, but also to the topic I did. It hit so hard. But nevertheless, too, this is something that I kept hearing in undergrad before I entered the program. I'm in the program. It's like, you know what? Ooh. It helped me so much not to have that mindset of procrastination. I'm not a procrastination person, period. I don't like cramming. My head hurts, nothing. I wasn't procrastinating. I wasn't trying to shrink the confidence to help me get to understand why this is important, as well as to nevertheless, y'all, the discipline helped me on so many levels of a growth mindset that I didn't know I had. So it's been so many things, like over time, discipline helped me create results that I've manifested in having. That motivation couldn't do for me alone. That motivation couldn't do for me alone. That couldn't really satisfy me the way I wanted it to be. Because I guarantee you, y'all, you wake up, you're like, like that little memes y'all see, it's time to get this money. Sometimes we don't have the motivation, but the discipline was the goal for us to get that money. Sometimes the motivation you think is, I got up. No, the discipline was you got up, but you still committed. You committed to going to work in the morning because you could have called out. But you said, no, I got to work because if I don't do that, I'm going to lose some pay. My boss going to be on my tail, or my supervisor, whoever going to be on my ass. I ain't got time for that. You get the drift? Because when you prioritize, with the benefit of understanding prioritizing discipline over motivation, you understand that all those negative things impacted with a fixed mindset, it won't help me. It won't help me. You still be procrastinating. You still be trying to find the strength for confidence, as well as to try to help you get to that long-term energy with a short and a fixed mindset. No, because motivation is temporary. In the moment, like, I'm motivated. Yeah, I'm motivated. We getting it done. Afterwards, are you still gonna be like, I got it done? Yay, yeah. You be like, whoo, I'm exhausted as hell. And I know you ain't gonna sit there and be like, yeah, I was still motivated. No. Motivation is temporary, but that discipline is going to stick there. It's going to stick. It's going to stick like some grits. Okay? It's going to stick. Because with discipline, you're committing to a goal. You're committing your life to something you have been manifesting for, putting in the work for, kept talking about. That's what discipline is all about. Because it helps you in so many ways. Because over the time, the discipline is going to help you in ways that you didn't know could happen. Because when we all stuck on this stagnant roller coaster of motivation is the key to the ranch, when it's mainly discipline, you get to see, okay, you're right. And I see it for myself. I was motivated, but now I was like, sometimes I don't even be motivated in the morning, but I still think, oh, I'm here though. The discipline, you were committed to it. Sometimes we committed to jobs we don't even want to do. We don't want to go to, but we got things we need to handle. Regardless if you're in a good mood or not, I'm still here and I'm committed to make this money to handle what I got to do. You see? Because sometimes motivation is not going to help us in so many ways that we think it's going to, or what we thought was going to do for us. We're almost there, y'all. So when should discipline be practiced? It should be practiced more than motivation is. It needs to be practiced ASAP. Discipline is most important when motivation disappears. You need to prepare yourself to discipline yourself right away, even when your motivation is fading away. When that motivation of you doing whatever you need to do or things you want to do and it fades away, have the discipline of still keeping in mind, okay, I may not have the motivation, but I'm still committed to get this out the mug or get whatever out the way when it needs to get done. Discipline is most important when motivation disappears. It matters when you feel tired, but something still needs to get done. Like I said, You didn't want to go to school. You didn't want to go to work. Like I tell my students, you didn't want to come today, but look, you here. You see why? Because Steve had to get it done. And if you did come to school today, we would have been calling your mother, your father, whoever you was with, and your grade would have dropped. And if you would have came into school without an excuse on why you was absent, your reason wouldn't have been valid. Some people think the motivation. No, it's the goal, the discipline, equaling the commitment to the goal of understanding, even though I'm tired, I still got things to do. Your goal requires long-term effort. Within a discipline, it equals the commitment and the goal. Well, let's say just discipline equals commitment. You committed yourself to this, especially if you have a goal. It requires long-term effort. For me, let's go back. BSW. I was already an MSW student before I was in the program. I was already an MSW student before I was in the program. Before I had that beat, before I walked with the BSW, I was already MSW. My goal, your goal requires long-term effort. And discipline equals committed. I'm committed to it, so I gotta continue and ride till the wheels fall off this mother. As well as you are tempted to fall into old habits. Commitment, discipline, commitment. You don't want to fall back in them old habits. You're tempted to fall back in them old habits. It happens, y'all. It happens. You go back in that old habits. Like, okay, one time and I'm done. Sometimes it slip up on you. And I can tell you, I have a bad habit. One bad habit is slipping up on me too. And I gotta be like, you know what? I gotta get off this phone at night. I gotta go into things that can help me sleep. Because I feel like sometimes I'm on TikTok playing a game that's looking and scrolling on my phone at TikTok and shopping online, looking at shoes and stuff won't help me, but it's not. It's motivating me to stay up for me to want to say bye. Let's buy it in the cart. No. So when you're tempted to fall back in them old habits, think of how is that old habit going to affect the discipline, equaling the commitment that you have for yourself as we're becoming who we are within this next level. Progress feels slow or invisible. Whoa. Discipline is mostly important when motivation disappears. Progress feels slow or invisible. But this matters for you to understand that regardless, sometimes it feels slow or invisible, but you're still committed to what you have going on. Even in school and working a job, sometimes it's like, dang, my progress feels slow. But once it speeds up, you're going to be like, damn, I wish I would have enjoyed it. And I talked about that too. Like sometimes we have to enjoy the slow moments in our life. Because once the pace comes back up, you're going to be like, damn, I need a break. No, we got to enjoy everything we can. That's going back into like enjoying in the moment. Sometimes too, within this, I can speak on this. When our progress feels slow and invisible, we have to think back to of understanding the discipline equaling the commitment that we have. Yes, sometimes it can be slow. Progress can be slow and it feels invisible. For example, vibing out with Yes. It's slow right now. The progress is slow and it may feel invisible, but I'm still committed to doing what I have to do and pushing out some guest appearances, even if it don't come right away or not. I'm still going to do it regardless if the progress is slow or is invisible, because I'm committed to it. Regardless if it don't happen right away when I put it out there, when I have more time, I guarantee you something's going to happen. And if it don't, that's fine. I'm still going to push it because that's my commitment. That's the discipline for me. That's what I'm committed to do. Regardless if the progress is slow or invisible. During this time is where you feel the need to do what's necessary for you to still keep that commitment going for your discipline. And lastly, you are waiting for the perfect moment to start. Don't do it. We already talked about it. We're not waiting on no perfect moment. We're doing it right now. Because once you're at the bottom, there's nowhere else you want to be but the top. Once you're at the bottom, that's it. The bottom of the barrel, where else you gonna go? Nowhere. You already there. Once you're at the bottom, all you want to do and where you want to be is the top. So get it together right now. Don't wait until, I'm in a good mood. Oh my God, I feel so good, got my hair done and shape up, whatever. Don't wait till you're in a good mood to be like, oh, I want to do this. Do it even when you feel like you're on neutral, maybe upset a little bit, but make sure you're doing it in a sense of is pure and not deep, devilish and all that. Do it when it's, make sure it's pure. Like me, even though this morning I didn't want to get up, I still gave pure vibes, because why would I want to give a nasty vibe with someone that's giving me a good vibe? If I went in that lady's, that lady called with a nasty vibe, she would have gave me a nasty vibe back. They not trying to get no good. They ain't gonna give you no good vibe. You being nasty. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. And you know, even though I didn't want to get up this morning, I still was like, get it done. Because, you know, already in too deep. You know, it's week 7. Next week, you don't have to go in there on campus. You'll be home on spring break. So, girl, get it in, get it done. You know, don't be in a perfect mood to just say, oh, I want to do this. No, do it even sometimes when it's like, I don't want to do it, but I gotta do it. Gotta do it. Because discipline works better when it becomes part of your daily routine instead of something you only use moments of urgency. That's what the whole point I want y'all to understand too. Motivation is when it's only used during the moments of urgency. Discipline is a part of your daily routine because we all commit ourselves to something. I commit to taking my butt to the University of Maryland every Monday. I'm committed to being on class that night on Tuesday, every other Tuesday. I'm committed to going to see my students 3 days out the week. I'm committed to make sure that I record and be on here to give y'all the vibe of the day or wellness lesson. It's a lot of commitments. It's a part of my daily life. That also impacts with it too. Commitment is what you make a part of your life, and also the goal, but mainly discipline equals the commitment. What have you put yourself in place for? Because the motivation is, we only get motivated in urgent situations, or we gotta make ourselves be motivated. I don't want that. I don't want to make myself. No. Even if I don't feel motivated to get what I need to get done, I'm still going to get it done because it's a part of my daily routine. And if my daily routines feel off and I don't have, and it's not necessary to be off, then that's a problem. See, next week I had the right, because necessary, I'm on a break. I'm on a spring break. Clear my thoughts, relax. If I got to do something with my group, okay, cool, we're going to do that. But anything else, no, I'm not doing that. Nope, it's not a part of that. Nope. I'm not trying to find the motivation and all that to get that. No, absolutely not. Because you got to think about it too. I want y'all to think about it. We still want to think about it as discipline equals commitment. Discipline works best when it becomes part of your daily routines. Equals the commitment. Instead of something you only use when in moments where you need or need an urgency. That's motivation. And you gotta be like, oh, I gotta hype myself up. Oh, I gotta find this song. I gotta eat this. I gotta do this. I don't care if you're in a good, happy, go lucky vibe or you in a don't look at my ass type of vibe. You gotta think of discipline as the commitment that you have took that oath for yourself to do every day. Even my students, they be like, I didn't want to come today. But I'm like, you're here. You committed to coming back to school. You committed to coming to school today. Even if you're in a good mood or not, you're here. Regardless of the motivation that you think you had. No, you had a little bit of motivation. You know, I was there to help you, text you in the morning. But I am not obligated to. I'm not obligated to. I just do it because I want to do it. You think teachers and all them others? No. I do it because I want to, not because I have to. So, yeah. All right, y'all. We almost there. So, where does this show up most? Like, where does discipline over motivation shows up most in our lives? Personal growth. Staying consistent with habits that builds growth. We already talked about this. So, we're not new to this. We're true to this. Career development. Showing up prepared, focused, and accountable. You could be unmotivated, but you still made sure that you showed up and you was prepared. You focused and you're taking accountability and stuff, even if you may come late or not. Even if something may not go your way or whatever. Motivation don't always all the time helps with us showing up prepared, focused, and accountable. I had days in class where I was like, you know what? I ain't motivated, but I showed up. I was prepared. I'm focused, and I'm taking accountability of what I have going on, as well as the wellness routine. Protecting your physical and mental health. Are you protecting your mental and physical health? If so, how are we doing it? How are you going to do it? How am I going to commit to make sure I'm protecting my mental and physical health every day? A part of my daily activity, my daily life, the commitment. Discipline equals the commitment. You know, physical appearance. I'm making sure I ain't got nothing going on, you know. Mentally, I'm making sure, you know, if I have to wear that brace on my leg, I'm going to wear that so I can heal. Mentally, if I gotta make sure, if I gotta woo-side, deep brief, journal, reflect, I'm going to do that because it's part of my daily motivation, not motivation. My daily devotion. Jesus Christ. It's a part of my daily devotion. With or without motivation, I'm still going to get the job done. And see how right there I can even slip up, because sometimes I used to be like, okay, I gotta motivate myself. But now, like, when I started paying attention to this, because I started doing these notes back in January, I was like, okay, and we're gonna have some slip ups. See, I had a slip up, and I'm not afraid, and I'm glad y'all were able to hear it and see it. Because, you know, sometimes it takes a minute for us to understand, yes, discipline equals commitment is better than motivation equals urgency and temporarily vibes. It happens. We're human. We're human. As well as within our personal boundaries. Stand firm even when it feels uncomfortable. Discipline equals commitment. I'm staying firm even when I feel uncomfortable. Going back to, you got to be uncomfortable to get comfortable. It happens to all of us. And you might think it don't, but it does. As well as to self-development. Continuing to grow even when progress feels slow. Commitment. When you commit yourself to these things, at times it's not going to start off real fast. You don't want to start off real fast. You want to take it slow. You want to slow down and understand what's going on. Motivation is going to be urgently temporary. It's in the moment. It's in the moment. In this moment, right here, right now. It's not going to continue throughout the whole day. It's not going to. Because the small discipline actions you can take daily shapes the bigger outcomes you experience later. Like for me, it took a little bit out of me to get out the bed. But I had to remember, I committed this, you know, so I got up, you know, did my daily routine and stuff. Sometimes things may slip out my daily routine, but as long as the main points are still there, and even added some small ones, because the small discipline actions you take daily, it's going to help shape the bigger outcome of how your experience will be later on in the day or the week or the month, whatever case may be. So it shows up a lot in our life. Personal growth, career development, wellness routines, self-development. It happens. And sometimes we slip up. Like I said, motivation. We think motivation. No, it's the commitment that we have impacting the discipline that we have for ourselves. And lastly, why is this important? Why does discipline change its results? Before we get into it, you're on a whole new level. You understand that now commitment is key. Now motivation is key. We taking motivation is key is out. We're taking commitment is key. And having that commitment for me, for you, whomever, is needed. The discipline to equaling the commitment helps me with the communication, my daily life, and all those other things in that nature. Because motivation alone cannot sustain long-term growth. It can't. Because motivation changes every day. Sometimes we motivate in not so good ways, and good motivation is different for everyone, especially when it comes to, it cannot sustain a long-term goal. It's not possible. Every day is not going to be the same day. Every day the sun won't shine. Every day we will not see a rainbow. It's different, but that commitment will not change until you commit to something else. Motivation may help you start, but discipline helps you continue. Like the motivation, like I'm motivated, like I'm getting it done. It's helping me. But that discipline equal that commitment is going to help you continue to get to where you want to go. Such as for me, graduating. I had motivation sometimes, but I got to remember that's discipline, this commitment I have is helping me continue, regardless or not. Because we have good days, bad days. motivated or not, I'm still committed to getting this done. I'm still committed to giving y'all the vibe of the day. I'm still committed to doing what I have to do for this degree, for my students, for my family, whatever. Even me, for myself, I'm still committed with or without support, with or without motivation. I gotta make sure my ish is there how I want it to be. Okay? Because when you rely on only motivation, your progress depends on how you feel. And that's the worst thing ever, because we are on and off like a light switch. I can be bright as the day is long, dimmed down in the middle, or I'm completely off. It's a blackout. And if I keep relying, if you and I keep relying on motivation to help us, we're screwed. Discipline is not even going to be a thing. Commitment is not even going to be a thing, because motivation is going to take over. And that's why we have to understand that motivation is urgent, it's temporary when it's necessary. It's going to help us to start, but that discipline, that commitment is going to help us keep going within any and everything we have going on. It shifts your mindset from a temporary excitement to a long-term commitment. Like in the moment, yes, you start off, yeah, I'm excited. But then you get into it, it's like, yeah, I could do this even on a good or bad day. I could do this even if I do or not get no sleep. I'm going to be on my grind all week. Even if I ain't getting no sleep or not, that don't matter to me now, because I'm on this run where I'm trying to win. I'm trying to get this together. I'm committed to what is there. See how I switched up days low, started going on my grind a little bit together, you know, with no days off. I'm going hard like no days off, like Fetty Wap told you. And if you don't know, you need to listen to both of the songs. But either way, you understand what it is. It shifts your mindset from that temporary excitement to a long-term commitment. Discipline builds resentment, strengthens self-trust. It helps you trust yourself and understand inside what's for you once you commit to these things, and allowing you to achieve goals that requires patience and perseverance that you think you didn't have. And when discipline becomes your foundation, your growth is sustainable. Once you have it as a foundation, the flower, the butterfly, whatever, is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be like, dang, what the world? I'm sustainable, like you up there, because now you understand that discipline equals the commitment. You committed. Motivation is the urgency in the moment. For right now, commitment is going to keep going and going and going and going. Okay? And now that taps into the quote of the day equals a quote of the week. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going and it keeps you grounded. And I hope now y'all understand, like, oh, now I feel you, now I get you. Yeah, I'm like, see you now. Okay? And I want you guys to know this before we go. I thank you guys for taking the time out of your busy day to listen to me or watch me, because I want y'all to understand this with it as y'all vibing out. But I thank y'all for vibing with me. Is that today I want you to remember that growth doesn't require perfect motivation. It don't. It requires consistent effort. Some days will feel exciting, other days will feel ordinary. But every day, disciplined steps move you closer to the life you're building. Staying consistent to your progress, your future self will thank you for it. Once you stay consistent to your process, your future self is going to thank you for it, because you understand now discipline and commitment goes hand in hand, and at times motivation is going to help you get started, but it ain't going to help you finish sometimes, because it's in the moment and is, you know, for the moment, urgency and things of that nature. Okay, so I really hope you guys have enjoyed today's vibe of the day of understanding discipline over motivation. And I hope you tell a friend as well the importance of that when they have those how when I say it, them obstacles, them hiccups. So, you know, saying, you know, I'm motivated, but are you still going to be motivated for it? In order for you to keep doing these things, you got to stay happy. In order for you to keep going, you got to be happy and all these things like that. And that goes back into what was the main points that we focused on. I want you guys to keep in your mind. Going back to this one, y'all, I want to make sure I say it right. But going back to, the one is saying, like, you have the motivation, but then you stop. You keep going and you stop. No, keep on moving. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Because that impacts with building consistency even when you don't feel like it. Do it even when you don't have the motivation for it. Breaking the cycle of starting and stopping. That's what it was. Stop. We're going to stop that cycle of we're going to start and we're going to stop and not go back because we ain't got the motivation. No, understand this. Discipline equals the commitment. You committed to this cycle. You're going to keep going even if the results do not be as you want it to be because you don't have the motivation. Long as you've done it and it's there and it's like, hey, we got this and you there. We here. Okay. So yes, y'all, I really hope you guys learned a few key points from today's vibe of the day impacting discipline over motivation. I enjoyed it a lot. As you can see, I enjoyed it a lot and I hope you did as well. And as always, I wish you guys nothing but the best. Please be safe out here. Enjoy this amazing weather. Love on yourself, love on others, and most importantly, understand the importance of your why, and understand at times we may not have that motivation, but we got to understand we still have goals to reach. We still got deadlines to hit. We still got things to do, because as we are in this stage of our life of becoming you within the next level, we got things to do. Some days are not always going to be the best. Some days we might not have the motivation, but the key is the commitment to get to becoming who we are, becoming you within this next level, next chapter, whatever in your life. Okay? So yes, y'all, please keep that in mind, and I cannot wait for you guys to hear me, or both, next Wednesday. Until next time. Love you all dearly. Bye.